What's up, Paracrews? I'm Paradomics, and welcome back to the testimony of Glimmer Smith. So, in our last video, we went to this creepy house. We actually broke inside it, and I also found out that Trixie is a girl, and apparently she is a trans, I believe, because according to her bio, that it says that she has been transitioning for a month. So, I'm assuming Trixie was once a boy and then trans to a girl. So a female? I don't know. I'm really confused with that. Well, it doesn't really matter because all we know is that she's a girl now. So yeah, in the last video what's this? Looks really nice, Gensha. Oh, we're supposed to see if we could keep it. It looked gross. Let's keep it.
I figured it wasn't much use lying around in the cottage, so I decided to take it with me. Maybe I could wind down with it when I got back to my room. On the ceiling, a small trapdoor led to the attic, but there didn't seem to be any way up to it. I only now noticed the harsh carving had been dug into the wall and inlaid with a golden paint.
Ah. Very ominous.
A dozen of identical eyes had been watching me. I found myself drawn to them. The house suddenly shuddered, and I almost collapsed. Ah! I regained my footing. Thankfully, the house had remained standing. I turned away from the drawings, deciding to avoid them for now. It didn't seem to be much more to see on the ground floor, and I still hasn't found that book. There's only one thing for it. I'd have to go into the dark, dingy basement. I forced the door open on its rusted hinges and made my way down the stone stairs. The decaying air grew worse with each step. Gah! This better not take long. The air in this place is probably cutting years off my life.
Shit. Oh no, is that the feather of the magnificent magpie? Was it? I don't think so. Oh yeah, one of you guys pointed out that the skulls, this was also found in the last video when you saved Squirrel Girl by giving the cake to the new friend, there was actually these two skulls, and it turns out that these two skulls are Squirrel Girl's parents. As you can see, it's like a squirrel shape. It's got the outer thing, and it's got the two tooth, like a squirrel. So yeah, that actually makes more sense. This is Squirrel Girl's parents, and this is what happened to them. They got kidnapped by the new friend and was sacrificed, and they needed the last one, which is Squirrel Girl. So I think it needs a family in order to complete the ritual. But we don't see the skull of Squirrel Girl. So in other words, we did save Squirrel Girl. And you can see that there's wolves here. So I think that we saved Squirrel Girl, but we didn't kill the new friend. He actually, I don't know, got back up, or he was dead, and then the sheeps, carried him away.
The stairs emerged into a large basement, almost as big as the entire ground floor. My eyes were immediately drawn to the horrific scene at the center of the room. Ugh! What is this? Are those? Two skulls were positioned around the chipped remains of some kind of symbol and etched into the floor. The skull's hollow eyes stared right at me. I stepped away from the grisly scene in shock, thankfully not tripping in the process. But then I blinked. I realized the skull were facing away from me. My eyes have been playing tricks. Oh, this is messed up. I better look around quickly. I don't want to stay here much longer. After a closer examination, it was clear the skull belongs to a pair of squirrels. Oh gosh. So much for Leroux's Pacific Cruise theory. These boats seem adult-sized though, which means the girl is missing. Hopefully, I don't find her here. So yeah, we did save Squirrel Girl. So the sheep here died. Or we killed the sheep guy. The skulls were undamaged, with no indication of how their owners may have died. Strangely, I don't recall having seen any other bones around the cottage.
So Squirrel Girl ran away? I don't get it. Why didn't she just run home?
I decided to leave them there to their rest. Not that I've been brave enough to do anything other than nervously stare at them from a distance anyway.
Oh, don't like that.
With the most obvious thing in the room thoroughly examined, I took a look at the rest of the basement. The whole room looked like something from one of those trashy horror stories I'd read. It was uncanny. Part of me hoped this was just the setting of a really well-decorated LARP, but I felt pretty sure that that was wishful thinking.
Oh no.
The basement was littered with black and white feather. It looked like a bird who had been in a fight, but with who?
So Magpie, the magnificent Magpie, got kidnapped and was fighting. I don't. This looks like I don't know the color of the magnificent Magpie. What was she? Was they? Were they black and white? It's hard to remember.
Probably the most out of place thing in the murder basement was the small collection of dry cake crumbs.
Yeah, so we did. So the canonic ending is that we save Squirrel Girl. Okay, because dry cake crumbs. That means, Parsnip gave the cake to the sheep and not to his best friend. No, not to his other friends. All right.
Despite there only being a slither of cake left, I felt my stomach tighten. A deep primal part of me knew it was a bad cake. I took a closer look at the symbol. It was etched into the stone with some kind of tool and gilded with a golden paint. It depicted one of those eyes I'd seen painted upstairs. It was no less unnerving here, especially given the rest of the room. I think it's time to get out of here. Okay, so I know so far it looks like I spent all week running errands and stuff, but trust me, I have my reason, as I hope you will soon agree. This is where things get a little hard to recall, but I'll do my best in the interest of proving why I'm going to need a few weeks extra to finish my course work. Thanks for reading this far. By the way, faculty admin team, I appreciate it. Thanks.
Oh, so this is where the sanity meter or the sanity part of Trixie is gonna creep in. So now we're gonna start seeing things that. Wait, was the skull always like that? Was it like that? Oh, I don't remember. I forget. So this is where shit goes down. So my AQ? What's A or Q? Autosave, quick save. I think that's what it says. All right, let's go to empty slot. There. All right, so this is where the game actually begins.
There was a loud screech and the cottage above me started to shake and creak. I heard a long groan as the basement door shut. The cottage continued to shudder. I could hear furniture topple over and slam against the wall above me. I need to get out of here. Before I could make a move, wisps of glowed mist curled around the two skulls. Oh no! They jerked around my face before lifting off to the ground as if pulled by the puppet strings. No! The floating bones remained motionless in the air, their eye sockets boring deep into me. Stolen release beyond betrayal, cloud waves, Carcassa. The skull called into my mind, a rasping voice that felt as if it was coming from within my own thoughts. Upstairs, the cottage continued to shake, the sound drowning out even my breathing, but the voice remained clear. The rapid betrayal, how blue starlight, Carcassa.
The rabbit? Who do you mean? Parsnip or LaRose? There's two rabbits here.
Carcassa, the dry city trapped forever under the red skies of the Hyades. I still don't know how to pronounce that. Hyades? Hyades? Hades? I don't know, I'm just gonna call it Hades because it sounds cool. The stolen crown jewel of a long-forgotten empire. The setting of the Yellow King, the King in Yellow, that much I knew. If the play was anywhere, it would be here, but that was hardly at the forefront of my mind at this point.
The spire, broken body, Carcosa.
What are you?
I am the abomination, the malformed stock, the accursed meat, filthy, unclean. Trap, Carcosa, the ashen streets, the dying slumber beneath the lake forever, and yet free.
Please, I didn't mean to disturb you. My friend made me come here. She wants to play the King in Yellow. At the mention of the King in Yellow, the skulls imploded with a loud crack. The eye sockets split. The craniums almost appeared to collapse into themselves. I stumbled backward, almost falling as shards of bones and tooth rattled onto the stone floor.
The cursed play, stolen, the monochrome prophet, the broken royal. They had stolen it, stolen a new owner. Oh, they had it stolen, a new owner for the play found. Trap, Carcosa, forever, and yet I walk again. We will meet again, small white rat.
The skull drops into the floor with a loud crash. The yellow glow dissipated, and as the room felt silent, I could feel myself toppling towards the cold floor as my mind disconnected.
Get up? Oh, we're outside now.
My eyes slowly open. I feel a feeling of grogginess and nausea had taken over my body. I felt my mind spin. I could make out grass fluttering gently in the debris.
Oh, jeez. Damn it!
I look up. A sheep gazed down at me as she chewed some of grass. As I stirred, she wandered off and left me be. I took some time to properly come to, but I soon realized I was crumbling in a sheep field in a daffodil lane. The moon cast white rays across me, and I wonder how long I had been there. What happened? It was here I slowly started to remember my time in the cottage. The decaying room, the black and white feathers, the strange symbol, the blood, and the two skulls speaking into my mind fuzz.
Shut up!
How much of that actually happened? My eyes slowly started to focus onto the grass beside me. There was some box of some kind. Or was it? I squint at it. Whatever it was wrapped in a shiny yellow skin. I reached a weak hand over to it and ran it across the top of the box. My suspicions was confirmed. It was a snake skin. My hand curled around the back of the box and felt paper. It was a book. I grabbed it and pulled it above my eyes where I could see it. Embossed in black amongst the yellow scales was titled The King in Yellow.
I keep saying the Yellow King, I don't know why.
I stared at the playbook. How had it gotten here? It was held shut by a golden ribbon, but it only took a second to undo it. I started to reach for it, my fingers feeling the soft silk. Suddenly, a bird screeched a hard caw. I jumped, almost dropping the book on my face. Far away, sat in the jeweled tree, a strange, mangy-looking magpie stared at me. I thought of feathers at the basement. It was hard to tell at the distance, but it seemed to be staring right at me, its wide eyes reflecting white moonlights like mirrors.
Oh, it's the magnificent magpie!
I was about to shout over at it, but it took off and flapped away into the darkness of the night. I lay in the fields a while longer and watched the woolly sheep munch on grass, the king in yellow held tightly against my chest. Eventually, I managed to pull myself up and started the long trek back to my room.
Oh.
I messaged Nikita and told her to meet me in the morning. She was still awake, presumably working on her campaign. She seemed pretty set on retrieving the king in yellow right then, but when I told her I wasn't going back out of bed, she begrudgingly agreed to wait.
Okay.
I shoved the play in my bag and turned off my phone, eventually settling into a disturbed sleep. My dreams were dark and confused. I stood with Heidi in darkness. She stared ahead into the bleak of emptiness.
Who's Heidi again? Who's Heidi?
A hooded figure in a red cloak approached, their face hidden behind a white mask. They stood in front of us, before reaching their face, pulling the mask away to reveal myself. They smiled at me, before crumbling on the floor as if thrown by some invisible force, their body twisted and broken. Where my doppelganger stood was a new figure, also cloaked. Underneath its hood was the face of a creature I couldn't describe. It was shrouded in darkness, but exuded wrongness. The figure's eyes seemed to glow yellow as they started to grin cruelly. The light of their eyes quickly drowned out of the darkness. The scene collapsed into itself, and I stood in the abandoned basement. I saw myself as a skeleton, a golden glow surrounding me as I turned to dust and cackled maniacally. The horrible, dirty bird looked down at me from the top of a withered tree with branches like tangled thorns. It opened its beak to caw at me, but no sound came out. The bird broke into a wisp of cloud vapor and dissolved into darkness, into the dark night. I looked down, and my hands was the king in yellow. The bird's caw finally sounded, and I looked up, where was once the tree was now a misty shoreline.
Oh, wow.
In front of me was a spire of gleaming ivory, but before my eyes I saw a rot of decay. I saw it rot and decay. Behind the terrible city rose a great moon. Mist dripped from it as it emerged from a lake of cloud. The black stars of the Hades hung above me, pinpricks of oil in the red sky. Watching me from across leagues of rolling white waves stood the solitary figure of the king in yellow. He seemed to travel towards me, closer and closer, as his tattered wrappings flapped in the wind. His long bony arms stretched to remove the pallid mask, and I knew I had found myself in the path to a truly terrible fate. I woke up. It was 9 a.m., several hours earlier than I would normally wake up. But after the nightmare, I was glad to be conscious. Nikita liked to tell me off for waking up late, so I assumed she wouldn't be expecting me awake for a few hours. My head still felt stuffy, so I decided to walk around the university grounds and get some air.
Nikita is your future. Prepare for it. Okay. Whoa.
It was a pleasant morning. A gentle wind blew softly in my weary eyes, a welcome break from the heat wave. Still, it seemed like it was going to be another warm summer day, and fortunate. It was the last thing I needed for my albinism, whatever that is. I'd have to put a lot of sun shampoo on my fur. The uni camp was really nice, albeit a little old-fashioned. It looked like somewhere that would be haunted, but actually was, albeit only the occasional gaunt-looking PhD student. Not that I...
Oh, there was somebody in my room.
Not in my room,
In the other room, I mean.
Not that I was complaining. Whether my experience in the basement was real or not, I had quite enough of ghosts for now. I walked past the clock tower. It would have looked a lot more impressive if it wasn't broken. I don't know why you don't replace it with a digital one or something. Although, obviously, I am aware that it isn't really your department. That was an attack on your faculty admins. Oh, that was an attack on you, faculty admins. Below that was an old statue of the university's founders, P.H. Lovecraft. Oh, P.H. Lovecraft. Okay. He was a species dickhead, and now he is dead. I stopped. I found one of Nikita's student presidency poster. It was pretty daunting, though on the plus side, she changed her slogan to something slightly less fascist. Nikita is your future. Prepare for it. Although, in retrospect, that might have been worse. There's a box of leaflet underneath. Nikita was certainly prepared for next year's election. He was almost ashamed the caretaker would probably take this stuff down by next week. I kind of wanted to take a look at one of the leaflets, if just out of morbid curiosity. Take a look at the state of my masochistic side. Leave the leaflets alone, I had enough of Nikita. Let's take a look at it. Bluebell University Student Union Presidency Election 2019. Nikita. What the fuck? Okay, you need to put that down because the sunshine is a bit annoying. Ah, God. Oh no. Why is nothing working here? Nikita. A manifesto for a stronger world. Bluebell University, once the 9th highest rated university in the country. Now a decaying, ruined institution sitting at a lowly 11th. Its student body has become lazy, undisciplined, and led astray by bad leadership, poor facilities, and social societies. But I shall change this. I shall make us strong. Who am I? I am Nikita. I'm the top student of the Regional History and Culture Studies course here at our prestigious university. I shall one day be our greatest student union president. This, fellow students, is my promise to you. My enemy candidates may be many, but I assure you, among them my equals are none. Alright, a bit narcissistic there, but okay. Tabitha Knight, especially, is a try-hard bitch and will not save us from our collapse. My 5 points plan for our stronger world. 1. The library must be expanded and open internally. Our minds too may expand. Only through knowledge we can take this rightful place in the world. 2. Too much of the university's budget is spent on frivolous activities, parties, societies, and trips to name but a few. This must be diverted to improve our facilities. 3. The union has many worthless delegates. The sports officers, the societies officers, the administrative team among others. These positions should be dissolved. All power must flow to the executives. 4. The student union president should be made of a permanent position, lest future presidents veer from my vision and lead us back into the abyss. 5. We need to fix the vending machine outside Wilbur Hall. It no longer properly dispenses toffee millet bars. Thank you for your time, and remember, to vote for my enemy is a vote for your own destruction. That's that's funny. A vote for my enemy is a vote for your destruction. Talk about some like a guilt trip or something. Jeez, Nikita has issues. I tossed the leaflet into the box. I eventually got back to my room. I took a quick shower, making sure to cover myself in sun shampoo. I was really lucky to not get burnt yesterday, given how long I was out. Maybe the spores of the cottage rejuvenated skin and left a healthy glow in your fur? Though, looking at my gaunt, tired face in the mirror, I doubt it. I finally got around in cleaning up the cereal I spilled yesterday. Better late than never, I guess. I ended up fucking about on my laptop to keep my mind off of things while I wait for Nikita. There was a sudden knock at my door.
Trixie Glimmer Smith, stop writing weird monster erotica and open up!
I slammed my laptop shut. I still don't know if she was spying on me or it was a lucky guess. Coming! I threw some old underwear behind my bed in vain attempt to seem less disgusting and lurched over the door. I opened it up and Nikita marched into my room, almost knocking me over. Jeez, hi Nikita. You have the book? Nice to see you too.
Cut the crap, Trixie. Where's the play?
Fine, whatever. But look, we need to talk about some stuff, okay? Some weird shit happened when I was finding this. I rummaged around my bag for the book, eventually pulling out the scaled yellow tome. Wow. It's really real. For once, Nikita almost seemed speechless. She walked over to me, seeming unable to wait to get hold of it. I handed it over, but a part of me wanted to keep it for myself, if it's just for its value. Nikita was about to undo the ribbon and leaf through its page, but I put my hand on it, stopping her. She shot an angry look at me and almost pulled away. Nikita, seriously, we need to talk. I told her everything I remember about yesterday, and my time exploring Daffodil Lane, the missing squirrels, the abandoned cottage, the skulls, the ghosts, waking in a field. I told her I didn't even know where the playhead came from. Nikita, I think we need to talk to someone. The police, maybe. There are skulls in that basement, and this isn't just some silly thing.
Trixie, those skulls were probably props. You said it yourself, there's an artist on that road. They always do weird shit like that. And no offense, but the option here are either 1. You saw a ghost, or 2. You, the person who reads ghost porn all day, were sleep deprived, dehydrated, overheating, and breathing mold spores and imagined a ghost when you saw some spooky props. Then you forgot half the day and fainted in the field after finding the play in the cottage.
It was a good point, but I still felt unsure.
That seems... I don't know, that's... I would agree with her, I guess. Call the police anyway. I mean, let's call the police, because, again, we found the murder... we found the murder victims, or what happened to them. Doesn't matter if Nikita is correct. It's better safe than sorry, and there goes the sunlight. It's gonna ruin the day. Wait, hang on. Maybe if I just move this here? No, it's still there. Okay, hang on a sec, guys. I gotta do the thing that I always do every single time. There's this white light over here. Oh, it's going away now. Huh? You don't want to show? Oh, there you are. Oh, you're gone now. You're gone. Yeah, whatever. Be right back, guys. All right, I'm calling the police.
No, shut up, Nikita. There were real skulls in that place. I'm phoning the police. I just won't mention the weird stuff. This is serious. It's more important than just some dumb story. Nikita's lips visibly curled when I described the King in Yellow as a dumb story.
Fine, whatever. Phone the police, but when you get arrested for breaking and entering, don't cry on me. Don't cry to me on the phone from your jail cell.
I was pretty certain she was bluffing. I wouldn't get in trouble for that, right? I dialed the number for the police on my phone after a brief wait to the operator pick up.
Oh, that's cute. Oh, her phone has a crack. That's so cute.
Hi. Yes, I'd like to report suspicious house in Daffodil Lane. The creepy one, yeah, by the woods. Uh-huh. Right. I mean, there was a skull in it. Yeah. No, skulls. I saw some blood too. What? Seriously? Of course you have the budget to investigate it. You're like the police. It might be important. What about those missing squirrels that lived literally 50 foot away? Uh-huh. Right. Ugh. See, this is why no one likes the... Oh. They hung up. I looked back at Nikita. Her expression was as sour as it had been when I started, but she seemed significantly smugger. Apparently, they don't have the budget to reinvestigate the squirrels, and they wrote an abandoned cottage off because no one could live in a place with air that full of hallucinogenic spores. I paused for a moment, considering that how could explain the ghosts, which doesn't make me feel great about breathing it for so long yesterday. There, I told you it was pointless. Now, just keep it to yourself and I'll help you with your coursework again. Once I finish reading the play, naturally. Is that a deal, Smith? I felt wrong for not trying harder to get the police to check out that cottage. I knew it was selfish of me to ignore what might have been a huge deal, but I needed Nikita's help. I couldn't face the ideas of going back to my parents after fucking up my education and not talking to them for months. I let out an audible sigh. Whatever, as long as we're even now. Of course we are. I never lie. I wasn't sure I believed that. Well, I'm off to read this. I do appreciate your service, Trixie, as much as I hate to admit it. I'll draft your coursework for you on a day or two. You have to finish it yourself, though. I'm not your mother. Nikita was being uncharacteristically nice, but maybe she was warming up to me? Anyway, you should get some sleep. You look like shit. Or not. I thought as Nikita marched out of my room, the king in yellow clutched tightly against her chest. Thanks, Nikita. I stumbled back into my bed. Nikita was exhausting. A buzzing woke me up for a few hours later. Someone was calling me. I was groggy and confused, so no different to normal. I reached for my phone and through my blurry eyes I could make out Heidi's name on the screen.
Hey, you owe me a job!
I stopped when a bit of drool fell out of my mouth. I've never been good with naps.
Hey, I need you to come to my shop like 5 today. Don't bug out now. You owe me for that crowbar, remember?
I did owe her, and it wasn't like I had anything else to do. Besides, it would be good to get outside and distract myself for a while, even if I should be working on my report. Okay, I'll help.
Good. My shop at 7. Don't be late. I have a taser.
Why is that always your way of convincing people?
Okay. Everyone's so rude to me.
Well, not everyone. Belle and Greg were nice.
I curled back into my bed. I was still pretty tired. I had half a day to kill until Heidi needed me, and I didn't want to sit here stewing on my own thoughts all day. Yesterday had fucked me up really bad, whether I wanted to show it or not. I'd found a coupon for a free bottle of sugar rabies in my sock drawer a few weeks back, so I figured since I had nothing else to do, I could head downtown and use it. That was quick. Anyway, the shopkeeper let the slip that the only reason Sugar Corp was giving off stuff away for free was because anyone who drunk in a can lost an average of 3 teeth. So no way buying it anymore. I guess they were hoping people would risk a bottle for free and then end up hooked on in its dubiously legal chemicals. I knew better than to wrangle that since I don't have that many teeth, being a rat and all. Fucking capitalists. My phone clock said it was almost midday, and I hadn't really eaten yet. I'd figured I'd combine breakfast and lunch. I decided to call this new meal Lunchfest.
Don't we call it brunch?
My thoughts were cut off when a familiar figure tapped into a window next to me. I recognized Greg, the small sugar glider from yesterday. I wandered past their bakery without realizing. I guess my subconscious was telling me to get Lunchfest at Greg's. Hi, Greg.
Hey, Trixie! Are you here for some tasty treats?
Yeah, I guess so. I look around at the selection. The triple chocolate muffin I'd eaten yesterday had been really nice. I did kind of want to try something new, though.
Took the healthy option and asked for a vegetable roll. Let's go healthy!
A vegetable roll would be nice. I need to keep an eye on my sugar intake.
Oh, my vegetable rolls come with triple chocolate muffin. Yes. Why do they do that? Is there a way to stop that? Like, what's this preface? Like text speed. Don't unseen skin after choice transitions. I want to slow down the text speed because when they talk, it just skips to the next one, which is so annoying. Okay, I've lowered it down. Actually, I should make it faster. Auto forward time. Rollback slide. Well, I don't like that thing. How do you stop that? Whatever.
Greg scurried back behind the counter and placed the food into a little paper bag. Fortunately, I remembered to bring my wallet today.
It's nice to see you again. Sorry the bakery was so busy yesterday. I could see it making you anxious. It's a lot calmer today.
The fact that the two customers were considered busy made me feel slightly bad for Greg. Was the bakery not doing well? Oh, no problem. Sorry for being weird yesterday. It was kind of hot and I already fainted once, and I get anxious about buying stuff. Greg laughed sympathetically.
Oh no, I hope you're doing better today. Here, have a bottle of water on the house. That should stop you from fainting again.
How do you have a business? Maybe business was booming back then, but now it's slower?
I felt bad accepting something for free, given my suspicion about Greg's financial situation. Oh, no, that's okay. I'll live. No hiking in the sun for me today.
Okay, well, the offer's there. I wouldn't want any of my friends fainting.
Oh, Greg is such a sweetie pie.
Their friendliness almost reminds me of Parsnip, though thankfully Greg seems to be capable of conversation and had an actual personality.
You seem to like cakes, Trixie. Do you make any yourself?
I shook my head. I don't really do much baking, or cooking in general, really. I basically just eat snacks, drink energy drinks. I probably have 4 years left to live.
Oh no, I hope not.
They giggled.
Don't you like cooking?
I don't mind cooking, but I have kind of a short attention span, so my food usually ends up burned. That was a slight understatement. The fire brigade had been called twice since I started uni. Thanks to me. I used to bake bread with my parents when I was younger, but we just kind of stopped at some point when I got older.
Oh, that's sad. I used to bake with my dad a lot. It was really fun. It's probably why I ended up being a baker. You know, I could always use some help here. I could teach you to bake treats.
It was a really kind offer. I didn't want to learn baking, even if it was just another way to fuel my sugar addiction. Oh geez, that's really kind. I feel like I just wasted your time though. I'm a bit of a fuck up, and you probably don't need that when you're already having money I trailed off. Greg seemed to see where I was going. I was worried I had set them, but they seemed to hide it.
If you don't feel up to it, don't worry. I know tomorrow morning probably wouldn't be very busy, so feel free to come along if you change your mind.
I liked the idea, and Greg was really sweet. Thanks, Greg. I'll think about it.
Aw, Greg's so nice. It sucks that their business is not booming. I mean, look at that. I come here and buy every day. Look at that, just buy a donut. I buy them. Is that Claire's, cupcakes, a bunny, cookies, donuts. I'd come here every day. They even sell pizza, for God's sake. See, Greg's awesome. Greg's best boy girl? Best them? How do you call it? Best them. They're the best them. Greg is best them. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm kind of a mess right now. It's been tough a few days, weeks, years.
No worries. Just let me know if you're coming along. Would you like my number? I'd talk some more, but I have to make a few deliveries in a few minutes.
Oh, okay, so he does deliveries. That's even better. Wow.
They motioned towards a wedding cake, a lovely icing statue of two cute mice girls kissing sat on the top. Oh, sure, yeah. Greg passed me a business card.
Great, thanks, Trixie. I better close up. I'll see you soon.
Wow.
See you, Greg. I waved goodbye and left the bakery munching on my food.
Oh, that's nice. Greg is so nice.
Oh. I expected Belle would be at the Attic Mouse Bar down the road, and I figure I may as well give her a visit to waste some time before I met Heidi later. If just to show I wasn't ignoring her offer. The Attic Mouse had a warm, friendly atmosphere, and I was relieved to see their drinks was super cheap. By bar standards, at least. With the Attic Mouse menu. I walked inside and found it pretty quiet, understandable really given the time of the day.
Belle was sat in a corner by herself with several glasses of alcohol in front of her. I'm not really into alcohol, so I dropped $10 on the bar to pay for my pint of cola and walked over to her. Hey.
Hey, Trixie. Nice you came along. Sadly, no one else has. Ah, well, we pre-ordered the drinks, some more for me, I guess.
She downed one of her shots. Oh, I mean, I'm not good with groups anyway. Do a lot of people usually show up?
Well, there's Greg, who you've met, and my pal, LaRose, an artist down Daffodil Lane.
Wait, I know LaRose, the tall rabbit, right?
Huh? No way! Nice lady. She hasn't turned up recently, though. She's, well, she ain't been feeling great recently. I wonder why. It's hard for her to find energy to hang out, you know? There's also Heidi. She's cool, a little scary, but a great gal. She runs the shop here in town.
Yeah, I, met her yesterday, too. She's more than a little scary, though.
She's all bark, but no bite. Doesn't get on so well with LaRose. They almost end up glassing each other for a few weeks back when Heidi said neo-punk biker art was better than neo-punk bohemian art. I don't know what either of those are, so I don't think it was my place to mediate, you know?
Jeez. It was weird how I met literally all of you by chance yesterday.
That is weird. We all know each other, and now we all know you too.
She took us another sip of drink. I copied and sipped my cola. I felt a little awkward and just ended up staring at the TV in a corner for a bit. The Prime Minister was giving a speech about shipsit? I rolled my eyes. I was getting pretty tired of hearing about it non-stop for the last 2 years.
This is getting ridiculous. Leaving the North Union just because the official sheep mascot bit the Prime Minister for... Because the ship's mascot bit the Prime Minister's 4-year-old.
It's so petty. Exactly. If she didn't want her kid getting bit, she shouldn't have let her roll around the grass, then go pet the sheep. We both shook our head and tutted. So, you're like a milk woman, right? That sounds kind of fun. Driving around and seeing all over the places. I don't get out much, so...
Nah, it sucks.
Oh.
Not much traveling either anymore, I'm afraid.
Oh, of course. When you were talking to Greg yesterday, you said you'd only go to the North Acres now, right?
North Acres?
Yeah. Nasty place.
Why?
She squinted at me quizzically. Oh, it's just like, I studied local histories and stuff. North Acre is meant to be really good for that, right? It's kind of old-fashioned and remote despite only being a few miles from town. I wanted to take a look around there, but it's kind of hard to get to. I couldn't find any buses to go that way, and no way I'm paying for a taxi.
Yeah, they shoot down every proposal for a bus route. I think I might be only outside interaction they get besides the postman. They're a weird lot. I try not to spend too much time there.
She shrugged and took another drink.
But hey, if you want to peep around there, you're welcome to come along tomorrow morning.
Oh wow. I mean, if it isn't an issue.
Not at all. I could use the company. Not much to do on the job, and the boss says if he catches me reading magazine at the wheel again, he'll fire me.
The bone buzzes. She took a look at it and sighed.
Ugh, speaking of the great dictator. I gotta get going. Apparently the sheep have escaped from Daffodil Lane. Probably that kid opening the gate because it looked kinda sad being closed again.
She shook her head and downed the rest of her drinks. I suspected I knew who she was talking about. Oh no. I better stick around. I still have some stuff to do in town.
Well, feel free to shoot me a message tomorrow morning if you're up for a real dull adventure.
She chuckled and added her number to my phone. Wow, everyone really wants to hang out with me. If this was a lame dating game, I assumed they wanted to get in my pants. Fortunately, I kept my life very PG.
I wasn't sure how much I was believing that given the recent events, but the slight hope of not getting involving Nikita and her stupid play would escalate beyond comic mischief and a rude language was reassuring. I don't play enough video game to get that jokes, but sure. I hadn't meant to say that out loud. Anyway, I better get going. See you around, Trix. She strolled off as calm as ever. I finished my drink and sat down for a while, glad to have been full of distraction. I still wasn't ready to think about yesterday's event. Eventually, I knew it was time to head to Heidi's. I didn't want to be late. She apparently had a taser. I have to admit, I was slacking on my way to Heidi's shop. Drinking a pint of cola right before walking wasn't a really great decision on my part. Sorry I'm late. I'm here now, and that's where I'm gonna end the video. So, I didn't realize I was recording for far too long. For the reason why I think a lot of you guys may have noticed, I do this every time I look at the camera. It's because I'm trying to see what time it is left, because I'm always wearing a white shirt, and then the recording is like the numbers are color white, so it's like it's matching with my shirt, so I can't see it. Actually, I can see it now because it's in the darker part of my shirt. But whatever, that's not the point. So I'm going to end the video here and continue in the next one. So apparently, I've also heard that it has multiple endings and there's multiple scenarios, meaning I get to choose who I want to spend my day with tomorrow. So I don't know if it's a real dating simulator game, but you know, it is what it is. Anyways, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, thumbs up, like it to death. Become a Parker today, and I'll see you guys at the next video. That's not a picture. I grow. Actually, like this. Let's keep my light on Hetty. It'll calm her down, but actually, it's just she just doesn't want the light to be on her face the entire time. Well, too bad, because this is what we're gonna be doing the entire time. Oh God!